Welcome to the Misfit One Lifestyles with Elizabeth Colin. She will awaken and connect with your Misfit One. Are you tired of the ups and downs in your life? Are you ready to live a healthy lifestyle once and for all? We are talking about all aspects of your life. Being fit is not just physical, it's also your mind and soul. Learn how to take steps in your life to move towards your goals. Elizabeth's goal is for everyone listening to the sound of her voice to get fit. Let's get focused, let's get intentional, and let's transform. Now here's your host, Elizabeth Colin.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Misfit One Lifestyles with your host, Elizabeth Colin, also known as Misfit One. And guys, today I want you to get out your tool set because I got the big guns on. Hey, Shannon Evans,
Yes.
how you doing?
Hi, I love your energy. I'm excited.
I'm so excited because we met at an event where you were nominated as one of the most, 50 most, what is it?
Women, 50 most dynamic women of Charlotte.
Right. Yeah. We were on that list. Can you believe that? Like,
yes, I can believe you were on the list. Yes.
I can believe you were on the list, but I was like, oh, I don't know how I made it in, but come on now.
Right away.
What's so great about it is you blew me away because she is the founder and owner of Nailed It. It's a it yourself.
Do it yourself, DIY. Yep.
DIY. Listen.
Yeah.
And every time I look at you, I smile so hard because when it comes to construction and we're going to build something and getting out your tools, we don't picture you, Shannon. How has that affected you in this business?
I mean, I try to separate the two, right? Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's so bad out here in this world of building and tools, because honestly, I feel like people have embraced me very well in this industry. I will say there's certainly been incidences at like the hardware store where people say something so off the cuff of like, oh, are you here for your husband? What did he send you in for? And I'm like, I'm going to go get my truck and I'm going to load it up myself. And then when you walk outside, I'm going to high five you and you're going to feel awful. So no, I'm just kidding. I try not to.
No, that's awesome. No, that's awesome. That good boy. Thank you.
Right. Like, how could you possibly know what you're doing in this world of tools and wood? But that's my goal, is to just show everyone, like, it's not about what everyone has always known. It's like, what are you capable of? Period. Nothing else. Period. We don't need because of this or because, what are you capable of? Period.
And for you guys who cannot see my beautiful Shannon, she's absolutely adorable. So you would not think that she is in there to do work for herself. You're like, oh, what did your husband send you in here, you little cute thing? You're like,
right.
Hey. You see, I have a tool belt on,
Right? I love it.
I think it is so great. So let's dig into your company and how did it start and what does it do?
Yeah. Well, originally the concept was exactly what we're talking about, right? Like, there was this belief in my growing up that I could do anything. It wasn't like it was about, oh, you can't use that tool or you can't try that creative idea. It was always like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want. Like, we're cool with it. And my parents were very, very good like that. They pushed me into not having some kind of, limit on what I could do. Mm-hmm. Right. Like, I don't know. I guess we just never fell into those stereotypes. And this concept came because I was creative. I had a creative hand, if you will. There was a lot going on up here that I could get out in my hands and create, which for me was like, whoa, it's not only up here, but I can put it out in front of me as well and create it. So I started using tools or craft pieces or whatever it was. And I started making simple wood decor for homes, like just simple signs. Remember, live, laugh, love all over people's homes. So that was kind of like where it began. And then I recognized, first of all, that it was great. It was a product, right? I was selling a product. But when I realized what it meant to other people to learn how to also do that, that's where the switch went. Because I was asked to teach a group full of women in a church how to make a sign. And I was like, I didn't understand. I'm like, how do you not know how to make a sign? Like, it's so simple. But then it was like, you know what? Not that simple
No,
for a lot of people. Right. So
right.
I think that's like that with everything in life, which you probably feel the same with the fitness industry. It's like, I don't know how to cook healthy food, but it's like, it's so simple.
Simple.
If someone would just show you.
Right.
And you're willing to learn.
And you're willing to learn. And I need
Yeah.
this because it's so important that you, one, touched on your parents. Kudos to
Sure.
them for allowing you to be you and not
Mhm.
put you in a box of girls can only do this and boys can only do that, which is phenomenal that they allowed that. You know, I hate to say allow, but really it is
Absolutely.
allow you to be that way. Because my dad was like, no, I could only be a nun or a teacher or a secretary, and so I could marry the boss.
Oh, good. I know. I mean, I don't think we realize how much influence we have, not only on other people,
Right.
but on our children and the words we use and the way we approach them as different humans than we are. Listen, just because, you know, I don't know that, like if my child wanted to make something or do something, I didn't know how, that shouldn't be their limit. That should be my limit to push myself past. But that should also be, you know,
There. That's right.
they
That's
can do
right.
that.
It you know, it doesn't. And of course, being who I am, I'm gonna be the boss and I'm gonna have a man secretary. Maybe I'll marry him. And my dad, no, you can't do that.
No, I don't think I was ever told to marry into money or success by any means. So I learned.
Yeah.
I had to learn it. I just had to learn how to do it.
All right, listen, and when your parents have given you the freedom
Mm-hmm.
to really do what you desired, what made little Shannon pick up wood and tools?
I mean, if we're getting really deep,
Let's go deep. I want to hear it.
Like, how deep do you want to go? I think a lot of it stems from, and I've talked about this before. By no means was I like a child of any kind of. Let me rephrase this. It wasn't that I had like this awful upbringing and everyone hated me. However, I was also overweight as a child, and back then that wasn't typically as maybe. There wasn't as many things around me that could help people be more kind, if you will. There was not the tools or the lessons of people guiding you through maybe not being accepted as a child as well as you can today with buddy benches and guidance counselors and things like that. So I don't know that I ever found my place in the world of my childhood, right? I mean, I loved everything around me, but I don't know that I found my thing. And I think for me as a child, I was grabbing at different ways of doing things, and creativity I knew was the one thing that could be brought out of me in a way that was tangible, right? Like you could walk into a room and I could say, boy, I would love to paint these walls a different color. And I could. And I could see that change right away. And it would spark a joy for me. So I think, again, with children, giving them the option to feel something that makes them feel truly alive, or a piece of them comes, you know, through the joy comes out of them because of it. You grab onto that as a child because we're all just looking to be loved and find something to love. So I think that's if you want.
Listen, that's a lot to unpack right there, Shannon. It really is, because and I'm getting goosebumps because of the fact of when you were a kid, and let's just be real. We are on Misfit One Lifestyle.
Sure,
we're going to speak the 100% truth.
Yes, we have to.
I know we're covering their eyes, but people are y'all know y'all leaning in to hear the truth. But here's the truth: back then, being overweight was devastating.
Absolutely,
it wasn't nowhere near as accepting as it is in our time.
Yeah.
Because I was an overweight kid, we were the odd ones out.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, I agree.
Everybody else was skinny. Everybody else was slim.
Yeah.
And then when they found a little chunky girl, they like, well, what's wrong with you? We like,
I mean, you feel invisible, right? Like as a child, the one thing we want to do is be heard and be seen. And if we're not, most likely in our generation of growing up, it just was like people were, they made jokes. There was a lot of jokes, and it was like nobody knew the jokes were being made unless you're standing right there. Where now I feel like if God forbid a child make a joke and it's caught on camera, you're all going to know about it, and we're all going to make sure that we talk to that child. And so I think it was like a lot of like statements or jokes, and I just kind of learned in my own heart that it didn't feel good, but I knew I was such a damn good person. I knew I had such a beautiful heart, and I was like, I mean, what am I going to do? So I just started creating. I think that's really where it came to life, and I'm thankful for that, because by no means do I define my childhood as this overweight bullied child, but I do define it as a time where I definitely learned a lot about myself and how to treat other people, which carried into my adulthood.
Wow, that is that's awesome, because we do want to be seen and heard at any age, all ages.
All ages.
But not for negative. Well, like, don't see and be mean to me. Like, hello. Then don't see me. And then when we become the objects of jokes and stuff, we tend to pull ourselves away. And that is where we find ourselves. And that's crazy how you did that as a kid, because a lot of people have to wait till they're an adult.
Sure. I mean, dude, I think the more I talk to people and the more that I have these conversations that are a little less surface, right? Like you start to meet people and you have these conversations in our age, in the 40s and 50s, where we're able to talk about the things that are being recognized as our inner child coming out now, right? So now I deal with certain things that come up and I'm like, that's young Shannon. I can tell going into it. And there's like these patterns in this behavior, and it's like, which Shannon is showing up? And I think that is the best part about it, is that you can look at it differently and heal from it differently.
Awareness is key. Awareness is key, because that little Shannon has protected you. She has gotten you to right now. And in order to grow, like you say, we have to acknowledge that. A lot of times we try to dismiss that young kid that saved us from so many things. Really, she was the one. That's why we're here.
Why we're here. Yeah.
She was fighting for us. She was hiding for us. She was
right.
She was doing it all. Then when we get it grown, we don't know her. And she was like, oh yeah, you do.
Right.
And so you have that internal turmoil of, like you said, which one am I?
Who's coming here to this party? Who's
coming? Yes. Which representative would it be today?
Yeah.
I love that you are so aware of that, because listen, guys, Shannon just dropped some very deep information that if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah.
Our inner child is always with us. If we acknowledge them or not, they are there. And like you said earlier, you can recognize that. I recognize my little Elizabeth, because she would be angry.
Sure.
Right? Little Elizabeth is ready to fight. Little Elizabeth mad.
Yep.
So then I go, oh, killer, calm down.
Right?
Calm down, killer. And what's great about it is when you decided, because you decided to step away from the bullshit.
Well,
yeah, of being, seriously, to sit around, because there were plenty of kids, and you know that, Shannon, that was the heavy kids, and they stayed around, and they was the butt of the jokes, and everybody laughed, and they laughed, and ha ha ha, and went home and ate a bucket of chicken. Right? But when you were able to say, hey, listen, I don't want to participate in that, I can do this instead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think I wish I could sometimes, and you probably answer this, like going back and be able to say to your inner child, like, you're okay, you're safe. You're okay, you're safe. You're okay, you're safe. And having those moments now in life where I'm like, by no means again was I in this like crazy world of like, oh, it was so awful. It's just
No.
going back and being able to be almost present in that inner child moment and look to yourself to say, tell that little girl, you are okay. You are safe. They're wrong. They're not right about you. Right? Like, it's okay to yell that out so that that person inside you can say it out loud to everything going on around you, where you feel not seen, not heard, not good enough, not lovable. All of these things that like, that doesn't just happen overnight. That's a big healing process of like,
Honey,
whew,
I have a
lot.
script that when you're in my class, that's some of the things I talk about.
Yeah.
You have to embrace her. When she shows up,
Sure.
you go, oh, hey, Elizabeth, I knew you was coming.
Knew you'd come.
Welcome. Have a seat.
Sure.
You are welcomed here. You are safe. You are loved. And you are wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all she's doing. And it's so crazy that we as adults, I'm 51, that we have to learn these things in order to move forward, like you said, growth, right? Yeah. And this whole platform is my fit, right? Being fit, living fit, focus plus intention equals transformation. And believe it or not, little Shannon was on it already when she was focusing on those ways to show her creativity and to be seen and heard. And wow, that is so incredible.
Oh, thank you. And you know, even when you're talking, I think about how it's not only about like, oh, I feel seen and heard and loved when I'm creating, right? Or someone would purchase something for me and it would bring them joy. And I was like, wow, they really, you know, value me or whatever it would be. But it was, you know, that inner, like, I loved it. Right. But I also, after I started teaching people how to do it and creating the company, it was like, oh my gosh, I have the chance to tell these people, man, woman, child, whoever, that they are capable of something that maybe they never knew that they were capable of. And it's just as simple as letting them be seen or heard, or letting them touch the tool or use the tool, or telling them it's okay to pick it up and use it, or make their own sign for their home because someone walks in their home and says, I love that. And they say, oh, I made that.
I made that. I know.
Dude, that is our inner child being like, you see me?
Yeah, okay. You see my S on my chest?
You know, like, it's such a beautiful feeling that I get to give that to people through the voices and the actions of all of these amazing studio owners that we have across the country who also deliver that love every day. It's like, it's just mind blowing. It really is. And honestly, like, if I'm being totally honest, I am not by any means like, I got it all figured out. I'm good. I mean, listen, I don't know anything. Like, all I know is I'm doing my best every day, and I know what I feel, and that's all I can lead with every day. That's it.
And that's,
I ain't got nothing else for you. Don't ever ask me advice. I'll tell you how to build a wall, but do not ask me how to build your life. Okay? I'm not here for that. I'm barely building mine. There's no tools.
He's like, look here. We need some walls. We need wood and power tools. That's what I work with. Which is true. But what's great about what you just said is everyone has a gift that they are an expert at, that they are the master of their domain at that. And it's foolish to think that you can master everything. Listen, don't ask me about relationships. You can talk to all my ex-husbands and ask them.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I think that, let's just continue to have conversations where we're not sitting here saying we've got this figured out because of my one thing that I figured out. Like,
right.
I would rather have conversations like we're having where we're all safe in a safe space to say like, man, life is hard. These things that get thrown at you every day are hard. But the one thing that we can do is like go within, right? Have self-awareness. Go within every time you get, and you know what? You're going to screw up. You're going to hurt people. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to do all kinds of stuff that isn't great for yourself. But the idea of like what you were talking about is being aware. Where is it coming from? Why am I reacting this way? How can I be better? And also giving yourself damn grace. Like, it's okay. I have had to learn that in the last 2 years of like, just, it's like the one thing I always tell myself, I'm like, you're okay. And give yourself some damn grace.
And girl, this is why y'all see why I love her. Because she is the founder and owner of Nailed It. And yeah, I always forget the DIY. Nailed It DIY. And you know, she's boss bitch. I don't use those words because I love saying my boss sisters. But for everybody else who wants to know the truth, it's the truth. She is the boss at what she does. She runs a company. She is doing it. She has franchises. And she's being 100% honest and authentic and saying, this shit is hard.
Mm-hmm. It's really hard. It's really hard. None of it is easy.
Bravo to you, because it's one of the most, and then that's why my classes and what I teach is so important. It's because Shannon is like so many of us. We know how to do this thing. Look, we got this down.
Yeah.
But in order to do this one thing and build this wall and run this company and several other companies is taking so much from me that I am losing my mind. It's that burnout, that stress, that perfectionism. We want to do it. We want to do it well. We want to do it not just well, extraordinary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we are our hardest critic. Do you agree?
Oh, 100%. I think there was a time and a place where, you know, your image, if you will, or how could I possibly lead people when I'm not 100% perfect, right? And I think it's actually quite the opposite. The more I can admit or show up that way to say, like, listen, you're right. I suck at, listen, that's something I can improve on. I can improve on the relationship I have with you. Absolutely, you are right. I did not show up my best, but I'm aware of that and we can grow together or not, right? Like, that's as far as I can go. As far as I can offer for any kind of ability to run a company. Like, it's hard because people expect certain things, but at the same time, I love people so deeply that gets in the way, for sure.
Yes, that is one of the traits of an entrepreneur, and it's so funny that the personality trait that a lot of us have is simply a burnt out one to begin with.
I'm like, I'll keep going because I love you. I'll keep going because I love you. Okay, I'm gonna have to admit I'm freaking tired. I'm burned out. It hurts.
We would not admit that to them because we are people. You know, when we're in this business, we want to please them. We want to make sure that they're satisfied. We want to show them how much we love them and what we'll go through for them. Mm-hmm. And then while we're doing that, we have forgotten that we are not doing any of that for us.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. I love the way that you, you know, you talk about that, the ability to like, almost like pause, almost like say like just pause for a second when you're feeling that burnout, right? Like just pause for a second. Why are you burned out from it? And what expectation are you setting? Is that something you're talking about in your own head? Or is that something that you really need to step out? Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Is it something that you really desire, or is it something someone else wants that is putting it on you?
Right.
And that is a lot of time, you know, that's why I think that you are such a badass, because it comes to simple things like being able to use tools and going in and creating something, wood, and make it into an object that you could say, I did that. Because, you know, a lot of times women are not supposed to be powerful, and we're not supposed to fix that. We're supposed to sit back and be cute. Yeah, yeah.
Which, you're really good at, by the way. But it's also, important that you can take care of yourself in certain ways. And I do think and I hate to separate the women and the men because we get everything that comes in the studio, but most of the time it's a woman who's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm holding a power tool. And the amount of fire that creates in someone, to me, is it's I feel like without lack of better words, a drug dealer. I'm like, oh, take some more.
Yeah.
I've got more. Right?
Because, yeah, you feel that power? You want it? Yeah.
I want people to feel that, which is why I want everybody to go to the studio and use a tool, because just that little taste, it really sometimes doesn't have anything to do with the project you're making. It's more about the feeling it gave you. And now you're going to step out in the world and have that one tool, no pun intended, to say, I can take on a little bit more. I can do a little bit more. So, it's funny how something that simple like a power tool can be a tool in your life.
In your life, absolutely. And we all need tools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We need tools to learn how to deal with stress. We need tools to learn how to not be triggered when we are triggered. What we do, we need tools when that little inner kid come up to us to say, hey.
Here. I've come to the party.
You're like, hold on, little Elizabeth. Wait a minute. I'm not quite ready for you yet, but come on in. Listen, where is your studio?
So we have studios across the country. There's 21 across the country. Here in the Charlotte area, there's I think 6 of them total in there you could get to by car in the day from Charlotte. But closest to right here would be Fort Mill, South Carolina, and then Hickory, Mooresville, and Greensboro, and it keeps going. So they're all over. You can definitely check us out online. But no matter where you're from, go to naileditdiy.com and check out the locations, and let's go in there and just, it's a safe space. Go in there and be ready to be empowered, right? Be ready
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to bring my friends.
You are.
We are going to nail it up. I can't wait.
I can't either. I can't see what you can do. I can't wait to see what you do. Yes, girl.
Which is so awesome. Hey, I am a daughter of a carpenter, so I do know my tools, girl. And it's so cool because it's important to be able to take care of yourself and to do some things by yourself. And it's fun.
It is.
It's fun. And it takes you away for a moment to this fun inner kid that you get to play and create. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, Shannon.
Yeah.
What would you get if you can give us 3 tips on how to really listen to that inner child and move sort of like you did, you know what I mean? What is the 3 things we are stuck right now?
Okay.
Because our inner child is with us all the time.
Sure.
How can we kind of move a little? What do you suggest? What got you moving?
Gosh, and again, I'm no expert in this. I'll just tell you that in true transparency. And I do want to say, thank you for offering the safety for, even with what you offer people, the space to be able to say, this is what I'm feeling, right? Because my first tip is honesty. And it's being honest with yourself and being honest with what you're hearing, and not just saying what sounds good, right? What are you actually hearing from that person? Not what you want to say out loud. Sit with that feeling. Do not just jump out of it. I think honesty, pausing, and grace would be if I had to sum up 3 tips, because nobody ever told me to just stop and feel, right? And I don't mean that in a way my parents didn't know what they were doing. This has nothing to do with that. It's in reality of the world. Everything is very quick moving, instant. We have instant accesses, things like that. So if I feel a certain thing, I'm oh my God, hurry up and get out of that, girl, and move on. And you got a company to run. Where now I'm pause for a second. Why do you feel that way? And where is that feeling coming from? Because if you're angry, you're not angry. What are you angry about? Why is that causing you to be angry? Where is it coming from? Why are you sad? Or why do you feel that way? So I just think being honest about what you're hearing and feeling, and then sit for a second and then getting up and growing from that and giving yourself grace as you make that move. Because we are all so freaking capable, so capable. But I know what it feels like to think you're not, because I do it. I still feel that way sometimes. I'm like, I am not cut out for this.
Listen, let me tell you, I believe we all are whole, resourceful, creative, and we are all wise. Everything we need is within us.
Absolutely.
It's that pausing that a lot of people overlook. Because they want to be distracted. Oh no, I don't want to, like you say, get up and move out of here. I ain't doing that. Hold on, wait, that don't feel good. I'm leaving.
You know, those are the most dangerous people to me, I find, are the people that are like, and like moving past things instead of being like, hold on. And I get, like, in business, like, things have to move quick. So there is a very rough part of being an entrepreneur and wanting to pause. But at the same time, I think that, for sure, it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and I tell everybody this, and everybody in my courses, I know they're laughing right now because that's my thing. Pause, because you know that their body goes into that fight, flight, or freeze. And the only thing you can do in that moment is breathe, right? So just by simply breathing in and breathing out, it gives your mind that pause that we need to know. And like you said, to trace what you're feeling. Wait, am I mad or am I sad? Right. If I'm mad, why am I mad? Oh, wait, I'm really sad because what they said hurt my feelings. So it wasn't that I'm mad, but now I'm hurt, you hurt my feelings. So then you have to work it all through. And then you decide, which is empowering to me. You're empowered to make the choice. Will I make a choice of saying, I'm going to let this slide? Or are you going to make the choice of making healthy boundaries by saying, wait, you hurt my feelings?
Yeah. I heard the best quote the other day, and it's to the effect of there's an hour or a day is the difference between reacting and responding. It was something along that line of, like, we react. That's what we do. We're humans, we react. But there's a difference between reacting to the situation, and there's a difference between pausing so that you can respond to yourself, to the person, to the situation. And we deserve that as people. We deserve that, and we owe it to ourselves, because every situation we're in, it deserves a reaction, absolutely. But pause and be in that reaction of what you want to do, and then go into.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen. When you are fed up and that's great, and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, you have the power, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self. You know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfitone.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habits, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life. Is it okay, put it or not? Yeah. And I could say yes or no, but I made the decision. It wasn't like they just put the French fries down and I just ate it. And then say, what did I do? Because that was a reaction.
I love it.
But you have the choice. Yeah. Now, as we're talking about choices, Shannon, what are some of the things that you do for your self-care? Oh, God. How do you start your morning?
Elizabeth, they're so private. No, I'm just kidding. You know, I'm not good at habit forming. It's definitely something I'm working on, of like certain things. But one thing, I mean, I definitely try to make my bed every morning, and it was like literally something that I think my husband had told me because of a book he read. But it was funny because it's the little things, and I think sometimes I bite off more than I can chew, and I want big things to be my changes. The more I've discovered that they can be something so silly as, like, when you wake up, do the following things that are small. You don't need to go and do 80-minute activities, like just little baby things. So yeah, there's certain things that in the morning I certainly do, but it's usually, hey, I don't know that I wake up. I'm trying to do water every morning before my coffee. And I'm trying, and cold water. So that's something I'm working on because I go right for that coffee. Making a bed for sure, because then that makes me feel like I've set my space and I'm done with my space that I slept in. And now I can go, to the next place. But at night, I do this thing. I like to put the house to sleep at night. And that's another one of my rituals is like, if I know everything's cleaned up downstairs, the lights go off, I put it to bed. Once I go up, that's it. I don't want to come up with snacks and food. I need to be like, this is done. Go upstairs.
It's closed. The kitchen, the downstairs is closed. Absolutely.
Otherwise, I'll just keep eating. But yeah.
I love it. I love it. So here's the thing. When you said, I don't really have habits. We all have habits.
Oh, right.
But we don't recognize them. You got habits. Got habits. We all have habits. Yeah. But I love the fact that you make up your bed every morning. I heard that too, because that shows that you have completed a task right there. Look, you are winning right away. Look at you, Shannon.
Oh, yeah. I am winning all right, because I got 10 pillows on my bed that probably aren't necessary, but hey, it looks darn good if anyone decides to walk in my bedroom at any point during the day.
My husband said the same thing. Golly, and I can only sleep on one, because you better not lay on my pillows.
How about you give me a good little thing I can change, knowing my things now? How about you give me one? I'll do it.
Listen, here's the great thing about it, though. When it's all about coaching, this has to be something that you come up with. What would you like to implement? Give me one little thing that you think that would be like, again, remember, small, ridiculous little things. The smaller, the better.
All right. I will say then I don't want to look at my phone first thing. There's no reason for me to look at my phone right away. I got to wait. And I got to say, thanks for the day. I'm lucky to be alive. Then I can go to all the drama and everything else that might have happened over the night, right? Like the phone is like, my killer.
I got you, boo. I got you. So why don't, if you have upstairs, downstairs, why don't you, yes, say it again, huh? Because I don't.
Logistically, yeah, you are absolutely right. I also get very nervous at night that if I don't have my phone, how can I call 911 when all those people rush into my home to kill me in the middle of the night? Because
they're gonna get. Yeah, but the pillows, you got all the pillows. You have all the pillows to protect you. Yeah. And guess what? They have the old kind of alarm clock that still works. I'm sure your house has alarms. You can push that panic button. Listen, you're talking to the wrong person. I got all kinds of things to overcome. Let's go, Shannon. Let's go.
Oh, God, I guess I deal with that part of my inner child showing up that someone's rushing in to get me. The boogeyman might come. I guess I have to solve that. Then I'll put my phone downstairs.
Yes, you could just charge it in a different room, in the bathroom, or just not next to your bed, so that you can't just pop up and get it. Right?
Good. I love that. Thank you for getting this. Thank you.
You're so welcome. I got plenty more for you, girl. I got plenty more.
That's why people should hang out with you more often. You will just get them right where they need to be and give them the truth bombs and help them get better. You're so good at
that's it. You know what you're gonna do now. Now listen, before we wrap it up, tell us again how we can stay connected with you.
I am on Instagram as Made by Shannon Evans, and I obviously that's where I am as personal. And then naileditdiy.com is the website for all of our Nailed It studios and corporate, and we can always touch base if anyone needs to find their nearest location or anything like that. And then any of studios you can follow at Nailed It DIY and the city name on Instagram and Facebook. And we can be connected. Anyone wants to find me, you just Google me. You just Google Nailed It, whatever, we'll come up. Well, I'll find you, you'll find me. We're no secrets. We'll find anyone we want now.
Nailed it. Yeah. Listen, do you have any words of wisdom, anything you want to leave the listeners with? Because you gave a lot of amazing. I hope you guys had your pen and papers out, because if not, go back and re-listen to it again, because Shannon is speaking the truth. What you want to leave the people with, Shannon?
I would say don't do this alone. And I think that's the beauty in finding you and the relationship that I think you and I have are going to have, and it's going to continue to have. It's don't do this stuff alone. I don't even want to, it's so complicated as it is, but don't surround yourself with people that aren't good for you. Surround yourself with people like you, Elizabeth. Like, find people that are good for you as a person, and don't just fill the space in your life with people that are not nourishing to you and who you are. So my absolute go-to is to say, find people like you and stick around and let them help you and let you help them, but you can't do it alone. So I'm honored and blessed that I found you in such a crazy way. And I'm blessed that I know someone who is so willing to pour themselves into other people being better people, and knowing yourself, you have places to grow. I think that's an incredible thing, and I love you for it. So I'm honored that you asked me to do this.
Oh my God. Thank you so much. You are absolutely a treasure. Really a treasure. You are a gift to mankind, and I am honored that you took time out to speak with us today, honestly and telling the truth. You guys, until next week, I am Elizabeth, and I want you to live fit. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Misfit One Lifestyles. Listen, when you are fed up and sick and tired of living this stifled, overwhelmed, and overstressed life, and you're ready to live the fullest, richest, and healthiest life by gaining more confidence, more energy, and more clarity, living in your best self, you know what to do, right? Go ahead, go to my website, misfitone.com. Sign up for our online courses, Creating Healthy Habits, so that you too can live fit, focus, move with intention, and transform your life.